Hello, my name's Daniel King. I'm a chess grandmaster and one of the commentators on PlayChess.com for this World Chess Championship match. This is the match that the whole of the chess world has been waiting for. The reigning world champion, Viswanathan Anand, 43 years old, from India, playing against Magnus Carlsen from Norway, just 22 years old. It's a real battle of the generations. Over the last couple of years, Carlsen has won all the major tournaments in the chess world, and now there is just one last challenge for him. Can he gain the title of World Chess Champion? Over the next 3 weeks, Anand and Carlsen will be battling it out in over 12 games in Anand's home city of Chennai in India. So a real challenge for Carlsen. Can he go into the lion's den and claim the ultimate prize? So they played their first game today. Carlsen had the white pieces and started with knight f3, quite a cagey start, and Anand reacts very classically, moving his pawn into the centre of the board, so just allowing this bishop to come out to this square, for example. And again, Carlsen plays in quite a cagey manner. He's fianchettoing this king's bishop here, and that means that when Carlsen does actually castle, his king will be very well protected indeed. So he castled now, so you can see that king's protected by the bishop, and it has pawns in front of the king and the knight as well. So a very secure home for White's king. Now the position is almost symmetrical, so it's very classically played by both players. This is actually rather a typical opening for Carlsen, in that he doesn't try to blow his opponents off the board right from the word go. He prefers to just kind of lob the ball over the net, you could say, and then outplay his opponents in the middle game and in the end game. So a fairly standard start for both players. So both players developing their pieces very classically, but nothing outrageous happening so far. But this is the first moment in the game that's of real interest. Anand could continue to play very classically here with, for example, knight e4. Not a bad move. That's the move that I certainly expected here. The knight here is supported by the pawn and the bishop. So if it's exchanged off, then the bishop comes to a nice outpost in the centre of the board. But Carlsen has a little bit of pressure here. Anyway, that's what I would expect, very classically played. Instead, coming back to this position, Anand gave up this strong central point, exchanged off pawns. Now this is double-edged because he's given Carlsen this very nice majority of pawns in the centre. Now if Carlsen can roll those pawns down the board, driving away Black's minor pieces, then White will stand very well. So why has Anand done this? Well, it's because he wants to get some pressure on Anand's centre pawns. So first of all, the knight comes here and is attacking this slightly sensitive pawn on c4. Now Carlsen really has to advance this, attacking the knight, and now the knight leaps into Carlsen's position, this daring piece, attacking the bishop on this square b2. Now I think what Carlsen would like to play here is the queen forward, so the queen protects the bishop, and for example here, well, now I think White's position is satisfactory. He still has this majority of pawns in the centre, and the rooks are connected. He can develop very easily. The problem after queen b3 is that Black would respond by retreating this bishop, putting it in the same line as the queen. Now that's rather uncomfortable for the queen. If it very boldly takes this pawn here, then actually that's too dangerous, because the queen has to keep protecting this bishop. For example, White will actually lose this piece here lose the bishop, and that would be a disaster for Carlsen. So just returning to the game position, instead of protecting the bishop with the queen, Carlsen preferred to retreat the bishop. So Anand with black already has the initiative in this position, and he continued with knight here, so he's playing with his minor piece instead of pawns. The knight threatens the knight here. Now if Carlsen trades, then this pawn does a very good job of supporting this beautifully placed knight here. This bishop is also very active, and I already prefer black's position here. So instead of that, Carlsen simply protected this knight with queen here. So if knight takes knight, well, you can actually play queen takes knight here as well, but you can take either piece, and I think that is satisfactory for white. So instead of that, Anand retreated this knight, which is under fire here, played it back, but that attacks the queen. Now that queen has to keep protecting this knight here. So Carlsen played the queen to a3, so maintaining protection of the knight here. Anand played the knight in, again attacking the queen. The queen has to keep protecting this knight, so the queen shuffled back. Now you'll notice this is the same position as before. They're repeating the position. And neither player felt that they could avoid a repetition here. And repeated the position, again attacking the queen. Now it's in the rules of chess, if you repeat the position 3 times, which they're about to do here, then the game is declared a draw. So in this position the game was drawn. So a slightly disappointing start. I would have hoped for a longer game. But, well, I think both players can kind of take comfort from this. The only thing is, I think, Anand can be perhaps more satisfied with this draw. When you have the black pieces and you manage to neutralise your opponent, then that's good news. When you have the white pieces in chess, it's a bit like having the serve in tennis. It means you have the potential to somehow gain the initiative. But Anand neutralised this initiative very well. Probably very good home preparation. And Anand said after the game, well, a comfortable draw is very satisfactory. But I think Carlsen can't be so dissatisfied either, because he's experienced his first World Championship game. He survived his first World Championship game, and you have to remember there's this incredible media scrum in Chennai, incredible pressure on both players. And well, Carlsen said after the game he kind of had butterflies in his stomach. So he survived his first game, and he said, it's a long match, no damage done. So there we are. Both players, I think, can be reasonably satisfied after this game. So, second game will take place tomorrow, Sunday. Do join me for commentary on playchess.com, and I'll be posting these video clips as well on my YouTube channel. Thanks very much for watching.